Well, passion, I mean, knowledge about what they're doing. So if it's a community manager around gaming, like a Call of Duty or Halo or whatever it is, they have to, obviously they have to know the game, but they have to just be passionate and crazy about it. And then I think in general, when we think about geographic communities, like say Italy or France or Germany, there would be a sense of also, passion for the subject, but also kind of knowledge of the local market, what the opportunities are. And one of the things I think is really interesting is that we see these new generation filmmakers that are using YouTube and our platform specifically to help drive new projects for themselves. And we think that's an incredible opportunity around the world. French filmmakers, Italian filmmakers, German filmmakers, Japanese filmmakers around the world that want to make this kind of content. And that could be really different than the traditional movie business that's been always typically established in very few places. There'd be a lot more opportunities.
And I think one of the things that the community managers, which for us it's a combination of almost like a local recruiter and programmer, is the idea that they're also going to be working with communities, Allen said, to develop original programs. So in Italy, when we launch a channel, we're going to look to work with local directors, local channel partners on YouTube to develop original programming for that Italian audience. So we're doing this all over the world, in France, in England, Germany.
And has crowdsourcing changed business models in the entertainment industry?
Well, it has for us in the sense that the way we think about programming for professionals that actually do the programming typically on Rye or wherever else. And in our model, it's kind of both. We think about it as a professional layer, and then there is a user-generated layer. And the user-generated side can be very specific to something like gameplay in a Call of Duty video, or it could be short films or comedies or documentaries or whatever it is. And it's that next generation filmmaker. So I think, in Hollywood they sometimes think, oh, YouTube, that's like a dog on a skateboard, right? But the next generation of filmmakers are really using it as a platform. So there's a whole kind of relationship from the very sort of traditional professional all the way down to kind of people that are just sharing whatever videos they do, and people are starting to make a living. We have 4,700 directors right around the world, and some of our most prolific ones are in Europe, for example, or in Asia. And they do everything from gameplay to make shorts to do comedies, to do stand-up. They have sci-fi, weapon shows, all sorts of activities. Some of them are really good, some of them are emerging. But just like everything else that happens on the internet, Facebook, we live our lives more publicly. So people are developing their creative skills more publicly. In the traditional Hollywood model, they would write a script in secret, and the executives would talk about it and then decide to make it. Here, people are developing not only intellectual property, but their own abilities to become better and better talent. And they're doing it publicly with an audience. So crowdsourcing is kind of bubbling that stuff up. It's voting on what they want, and really a lot of the creative talent is coming from the crowd.
And we also look to them to give us feedback on our programming, right? Which is great because when we launch a short as our own pilot for a new series, we get to see immediate feedback. We can iterate that to when we start doing more episodes of it. And we've been influenced by the community. They've given us some great feedback and ideas for shows, for concepts for a series. So it's been a great relationship with the community. Not only that they actually develop original programming, which we support, finance in many cases, but also the fact that they give us great feedback from a creative perspective.
Well, one of the big things, there's two or three things that are important to us. One is we want to be bigger on multiple platforms, right? So the way we think about it is we don't think the internet per se for us is that important, but we think YouTube, Facebook, iOS, the Apple world, Android, Xbox, PlayStation, these kind of platforms are really important in TVs. And so we're very focused on trying to get other platforms. And then the second big one's international. And we have about half of our audience outside the United States already, but most of the content so far has been in English. So now we're really looking to do French content in France, Italian content in Italy, and working with local directors and local channels to kind of make sure that things are more localized. Those are probably the two biggest things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree, that's why we're here.
That's what, especially Philip is really, his focus is the international side. So he spent a lot of time here in Europe and Mexico, Brazil, you know, Korea,
Asia,
Japan, Australia.
Okay, great, thanks.
Our pleasure, thank you.